just as the palace gunbearers have come to remove historic weapons from the museum.
So you carry the guns during the ceremonies?
Yeah. And during the sitting of the king, anytime the king sits, the guns and the sword has to come out, signifying against the king.
So who did that belong to?
That is the first king of Ashanti, King Kumasi the first.
Really? It is outside. It is gun. Amazing.
European firearms have been instrumental in creating and expanding the Asante kingdom during the 1700s. Threat of force was one way the kingdom maintained control, but other methods were just as effective. The royal palace once housed the most important part of the kingdom's bureaucracy, the treasury. Since gold was first mined in the forest, the currency of this area of West Africa was gold dust. Scales and counterweights were used for precise measurements. Even gold nuggets and ingots were smelted down and turned into gold dust so they could be accurately measured. Every transaction was in gold dust, including taxation.
Exquisite little object, tiny little stool. It's actually a gold weight. You can imagine him weighing gold against something like this. It's an indication of just how important taxation and financial control actually was. And the treasury was a mechanism for administering all of the Asante bureaucracy. It was just another one of those institutions that was core to consolidating Asante power.
Taxation didn't simply fund the government, they ensured that no individual could become significantly wealthy. Gold was not just money, it was power. And it was vital that power was held by the state. The regalia of the Asantehene had to be the very best.
And the quality is just mind-blowing, exquisite work.
Ostentatious demonstrations of wealth by the king reminded everyone of their history, of how the gold found in the forest had been instrumental in creating the kingdom. The Asante people had long accepted that the kingdom was safeguarded if the state was rich, but those assumptions were to be severely challenged.
With the greatest king and the Queen of England, as well as some beautiful moments with the king, especially the just concluded tribal misunderstanding that the king settled. You could see the joy that sprouted out from these people within. That explains it all, that peace is priceless. Unity is the main deal, the main back.
When they start, they don't expect us to keep quiet. And that's the more reason they threaten my life. That's the more reason they don't want me to talk. Because, like I said, we live in a society where they will be beating you and they don't expect you to talk. Someone will be doing you something bad and he doesn't want you to talk, because if you talk, you're going to put them in a bad light and they don't want to be there. Anyway, they have started again, and because they have started, we would not keep quiet. Okay, we will not keep quiet. I want to talk about something that's very, very important that is affecting the Nigerian traders in Kumasi, Ghana. I want to talk about it this afternoon. All right, back to what I was saying. You see, The day they came to my house, they did say something. They said, you need to stop talking. Now, yesterday, a gentleman called me from Dubai. Or was it? Yes, yesterday or day before yesterday. I'll check. Okay. It was Thursday. A gentleman called me from Dubai. He called me twice. I didn't pick. Then I called back and I asked him to call me because I didn't know who was calling. And that's the number I'm putting on the screen. The number is +971 55909 6262. +971 55909 6262. I beg DSS, make una take notes. And Ghana police, make una take notes. I'll put the number on the screen. Now, he called me and said, by then I have not watched the news to know what is happening to our traders. Then he now called me, says, is that Pidgin English professor? And I said, yes, that's Pidgin English professor. He said, we don't want you to talk about Ghana issues again. If you talk about Ghana issues again, we are going to kill you and you will find your dead body. So, and I was like, where is this one coming from again? I don't know, there was already an issue and they are threatening me not to talk about it, and I have not seen that issue. So when that call came and I was like, who is this? So I now told him, okay, no problem, we'll give the numbers out to the authorities so that they'll track you and know where you killer is writing from. Anyway, so when I now came on the news and people were sending me messages that the Nigerian shops in Kumasi have been locked, or they are going around locking the Nigerian shops in Kumasi. Now, I will not sit here and say that Ghana has no reason to uphold their law. I will not sit here and say they are doing the wrong things because they believe they are doing the right things. We are done with this argument. But what I'm sitting here to say is that Nigeria, as from Tuesday, if the shops in Kumasi are not open, Nigeria should also trigger the same law and close down the fish market in Abuja. That's all I'm saying. If they like, oh, they kill me, oh. If they like, oh, they don't kill me, oh. That will not stop me from talking. Yes, because you have a right to what you do to me. The reaction, you have no right. You cannot be doing things to me and still control how I react to it. It doesn't work like that. So we are calling on the Nigerian government, we are calling on Nigerian authorities to do what is called reciprocity, because it's a tool in diplomacy. Except the Ghana government comes to tell us that they are not aware of the locking of shops and the remedy happens before Wednesday. Otherwise, I'm calling on the Nigerian government, I'm calling on traders union in Nigeria also to activate the same law and lock up foreigner shops in Nigeria so that the table can be balanced. Because if the ecowas law is, according to them, the local law is bigger than the ecowas law, then the local law in Nigeria should also be bigger than the ecowas law. So we are quickly calling for reciprocity. We are done trying to tell them they are wrong or we are right. We are done trying to put this argument of being an ecowas citizen. What we want to say now is, please, 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 Nigerian government, they've started locking our trader shop in Kumasi. According to them, we heard that it's because they are selling cheaper. Okay, so please, please, please lock foreigner shop in Nigeria. I beg. Anything that has to do with foreigners, I beg, check them out. We could be on the same page. For those that are sending me threat messages, like I said before, you already know my house. Your spokesperson said it. He said they already know the house of destiny, Austin. Or any day they want to strike, they will strike. So I'm more or less like a dead goat. I'm not afraid of knife. So that will not stop me from talking. There's nothing you do to me that I will stop talking. Yes, because you can't oppress Nigerians and ask me not to talk. No, you don't beat a child and stop the child from crying. So I'm calling on our trade unions, I'm calling on our authorities to also reciprocate the good job they are doing to our traders in Kumasi. We are calling on the Nigerian government to reciprocate the good gesture that the traders, the guta, that same good job. We want you to do it at the fish market in Abuja. We want you to do it in most of the Mami markets around Nigeria. Mami market in Port Harcourt, Mami market in Lokoja, Mami market in Abuja, Mami market in Lagos. All the Mami markets, I beg. We want you to reciprocate the good gesture. That good gesture they are doing to our traders in Kumasi. Please, 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 please. Our authorities should just do the same thing. The same thing. We are not calling for trouble, before you say I'm asking for violence. I'm not asking for violence. I said the Kumasi guta officials, the traders, they are doing well. They offered our people Christmas gifts. We are calling on Nigerian authorities to offer the same Christmas gifts to the fish market traders in Abuja, to all the traders in Mami market all over Nigeria, to all the traders in Mami market all over Nigeria. Yes, so please don't forget to just drop a comment on this decoder if you want it. Yes, and you can watch all your live matches. Pikin when say mama no will sleep, you know will sleep. They will explain, tire, no evidence. Always come in peace, so see you on my next video.
Yeah, guys, Ghana boy in for Ghana boy in. So, guys, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly (KME) has ordered all foreign retailers within the Kumasi jurisdiction to exit from the Kumasi market. They should exit completely from the Kumasi market by December 9th. And this happened after some guta officers, Ghana Union Traders Association, some officers went out to, express their displeasure about the GIPC Act 865, which governs foreigners in Ghana, which states there clearly that as a foreigner, you are not supposed to go into the retailing business in Ghana. Some activities by laws has been reserved for Ghanaians only, and nothing should change that. This is a privilege because in Ghana believes Ghana is a country where you cannot say no to foreigners coming into your country. Foreigners travel to every country, but at least there should be some things reserved for only Ghanaians. And retailing is one of these things that is reserved for only Ghanaians. But in years coming, we've got to notice that the laws which are supposed to work on that aspect, I don't know, for some reason, it has been broken, and so many foreigners are into retailing business in Ghana. And now, some trading associations in Ghana are saying, no, this is something which is supposed to be their right. This is something which is supposed to be a privilege for Ghanaians only. And the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, which is an organization which governs traders and market people in Kumasi, has ordered all foreigners, if you are into retailing in Kumasi, by December 9th, you need to start advising yourself and leave the market. Hopefully, we hope the other regions and the other markets as well will be able to at least be bold and start, reserving what has been reserved for Ghanaians. Because with what is happening in so many countries, a lot of people are pushing into Ghana now, and if they come and still.
On our statute books, we have some very obnoxious laws. For example, criminal libel law, so forth and so on. What will you do, assuming you are confirmed?
We made a specific commitment to the people of this country that if they were to entrust the administration of Ghana to us, we would in fact see to the repeal of those laws. As far as I'm concerned, that is an obligation imposed upon us by our manifesto. The Ghanaian people have accepted, and that therefore we are duty bound to bring legislation as soon as possible. The timetable of those matters will not be a matter for me. The timetable for those will be a matter for the president, because at the end of the day, all of us act in his name. But certainly proposals will come from me for the repeal of those laws. I think, Mr. Chairman, it's going to look very funny to the Ghanaian people that one of the most vocal critics of those laws, in myself, when given the opportunity of power, of office, then chooses not to do something about it. I don't think that would be right, and I don't think that my own reputation would stand such an experience.
At the last sitting of Parliament, insisted on issuing a statement against a lot of opposition from members of the House. Now, in that statement, he said that whether anyone liked it or not, the majority in the next Parliament, which is this Parliament, was going to introduce a motion to set up a Justice and Peace Commission to probe or inquire into June 4 and 31st December. There was an uproar from both sides of the House, and you were shown clearly walking out of the House, apparently in opposition and in disgust to what he has said.
This is a case of a genuine coincidence. This is a clear case of coincidence.
I want to be clear in my mind whether you were opposed to the timing of what he was saying, or you were opposed to the content or the idea of setting up such a commission, and what is your own opinion on that?
I prefer to answer the latter. I left the chamber when the discussion was on, and I think that insofar as we all do that, as you know perfectly well, I don't think that any particular significance should be placed on the times I get up and leave the chamber and come back. But my own view is that at some stage or another, we're going to have to come to grips with that whole era and its consequences. We want to come to grips with it in a way whereby the peace, the stability, the progress of our country is not jeopardized. We're required in this country, like in many other countries in the world, to make a decision as to how we deal with our past. By and large, the nation is ready to say that what has happened in the past, let bygones be bygones. But there is still the situation involving the victims. People whose sufferings in one way or another cannot be so easily alleviated just by words. That a mechanism, some kind of mechanism, was already in place when you were in office. The Attorney General, for instance, I know, was reviewing the whole situation of the restoration of people's assets and how and how all of that could be arranged. What I believe that the minority leader was putting on the table, which is the I believe, as far as the majority view in the country, is that let us have some kind of mechanism working, not with discretion. Our objection to the way that the Attorney General was handling this matter was that there was a slightly discretionary element. He would choose which people to deal with it. But let us have a mechanism which would deal with these matters in a reasonably objective and impartial way. And the only way that you could do it was to establish some sort of body that would deal with it. I am not sure in my own mind. It's a matter that we'll have to make a decision about soon, whether there's in fact any need for any particular body, because there are institutions in place, like the SHRAG, which can in fact perform these functions for those who believe that they're entitled to some sort of restitution or compensation or whatever for what has happened. And my preference, frankly, and that is going to be the attitude which dominates my tenure of office, is that wherever there are already existing institutions that can deal with the problems that you come about, let those institutions be strengthened, let those institutions deal with it, so that we can have some development of institutions in our country in an orderly and organized way. Every time we are at every stage, we're having to set up ad hoc special bodies to deal with particular problems. I myself do not think that that is a satisfactory way that we can develop the state structures of our country. I think that to the extent that the charter of the SHRAG would permit them to deal with this area, my advice would be, people who have problems, let them go to SHRAG and let SHRAG deal with it.
Are you going to give relief and justice to the victims of the demonstration of 1995? As at now, the victims of that demonstration have not received justice. What are you going to do to see that they get justice?
The victims have got all their rights at law to prosecute their matters with due process. I, as the Attorney General in itself, cannot do anything. If people bring petitions or they petition the courts, I mean, the process, there are lawful processes whereby people can express their grievances and seek redress.
Honorable members, Ghanaians are complaining that foreigners are taking over the retail businesses in Ghana, most especially in Accra and Kumasi. So the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly are on a hit. They are on a rise. They are giving foreigners that are engaging themselves in the retail businesses in Ghana, in Kumasi to be specific, to 9th of December 2025 to exit the market, or they will come after them and they will lock off the shops by themselves. And now I have seen a lot of propaganda spreading across. You understand? You know the people I'm talking about. I will expose them right now. So just chill, okay? Just chill. So we all know that in Ghana's law, foreigners are not allowed to engage themselves in the retail business. Foreigners are allowed to be part of the wholesale or to be suppliers. So if you know that you cannot be supplier or you cannot be a wholesaler, then you are not allowed to engage yourself in the retail businesses. And now I want to say this thing before I go ahead and do what and expose some of the propaganda some people are spreading right now. Now, it's not about our fellow Africans. This time around, I can boldly tell you that the Chinese are even now taking over more than the people you think. The Chinese are taking over the retail businesses in Ghana more than the people that you think they are taking over. So the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, this is a very good move. This is a very smart move, because now Ghana is gradually losing everything to foreigners. Ghana is gradually losing everything to foreigners. And it looks like some foreigners, because they have seen or they have come in and noticed that Ghana, everything over here is weak, everything over here is corrupt. So far as you have money, you can just do whatever you want. So people don't intend to respect the rules and regulations of the country. Yes, because some people that are supposed to make sure that the law works, they have become greedy and selfish to their own selves. So even if someone comes in and decides to offer money or decides to offer a little bit of token, they will take it and sell out their own country. They will take it and make sure that their own people suffers. Now, if you go to Blue Lights, if you go to KAT, if you go to what do you call it, Adum, if you go to Railway, like all those places, it's full of foreigners engaging in retail businesses, engaging in them, and we all know that it's against our constitution. It's against our laws. As a foreigner, you can engage yourself in what? In wholesale. You just bring it, you sell it at wholesale prices, or you do it, or you become a supplier. You supply it to other to Ghanaians for them to sell it in retail. But you don't bring the goods, and afterwards you start distributing one after the other, selling it as a retail business person. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And the reason why I'm saying this is that, one, I've seen most of the Nigerian content creators are making noise on social media, like the way they were doing when VDM came all the way from Nigeria to Ghana. I don't know what he came to do, whatever, I don't know. They are still making that noise that Ghanaians are locking Nigerian shops. This is the kind of propaganda they are sending out. You see, these people, they are kind of victimizing players. You understand? You come to a country and they will tell you that this is the law. You go against the law, and later on you come back and play victim. After the people decide to hold the law and do it, and make sure that you face the full letters of the law, or you pay a penalty or whatever punishment you're supposed to have, you have it. Then they'll come back and play victimized. That they don't like us. I know that this thing they will start calling Ghanaians xenophobic. Yes, and we are ready for that. We are ready for that. We will answer each and every one. Now they're starting saying that Ghanaians are locking Nigerian shops in Kumasi. It doesn't make sense. Nobody's locking anybody's shop, and even the deadline that they have given, the deadline is not yet there. We are now in today's 6th of December 2025, and they have given people up to 9th. So if you respect the rules and regulations, if you respect the laws of this country, you will do what? You will do what they will say. Simple as that. Don't engage, you don't engage. Do this, you do it. Because if you travel out from Jordan to Nigeria or Africa to other countries, Europe and other countries, you respect their laws. So why if you come to Ghana, you don't want to respect Ghana's law? Or because you think Ghana is that cheap or Ghana is that weak, that's the reason why you guys will come in and do whatever you want. And afterwards, you start playing a victim card that you are the one that is the victim. Once you are the one that is the cause trouble. Yes. So now, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly is giving them up to 9th. And in fact, this message, if it gets to the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, the authorities, there's this thing I want to tell you guys. It shouldn't be only them. The Lebanese are also doing the same. They are engaging in the retail businesses. The Chinese, they are doing it. The Indians, they are doing it. Most of them they're all part of the retail businesses. Close it up. Close all their shops up. Yes, close them up. No mercy for the cripple. No mercy for the cripple. So for those Nigerians who have started playing victim cards, saying that Ghanaians are locking Nigerian shops, whether Ghanaians are locking in Nigerian shops, whatever it is, yes, we are locking it. Because you guys have decided to turn blind eye to our rules and regulations. You guys are always trying to do to disrespect our laws. That SNDBO guy even said that he knew when VDM came. He said that he knew that they were breaking the laws, but they have no choice. See, the moment you know that you are breaking the laws, but you still want ahead and break it, that means it's your intentions. And this have given them the go ahead, and it has been happening all over. So please, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, KMP, please, on the 9th, make sure you take action. Make sure you take action. And make sure that you protect Ghanaians' businesses, and make sure that you protect the retail businesses for Ghanaians, and it's for Ghanaians alone. From a common time, since independence, that is how it is. The retail businesses, the retail space is for Ghanaians alone. It's not foreigners. So if you think that you can't be a wholesaler, then find something else and do. Don't engage yourself in the retail business. And for those of you Ghanaians, especially a man.
Now guys, you see, I am beginning to see that this Destiny Omon of a guy is an ardent hater of Ghanaians. He has never liked Ghanaians, even though he has lived in Ghana. And when Ghanaians are talking, most of them are talking. Most people don't understand. I could understand that Ghanaian man who did come out to explain, and as alongside Ghana boy, what the law states and what Nigerians and other foreigners in Ghana should obey and abide to. Here is that it is not just Nigerian, even Chinese, other foreigners are doing the same thing. So why is this dumb head taking it personal? Because this thing is beginning to get me pissed off. It's beginning to get me pissed off. And that's why I needed to come here and school him, put him in order. Because the law of Ghana does not evolve around Nigeria and Nigerians alone. It is not only Nigerians that are foreigners in Ghana. Let that sink into your head. Destiny Omon. Be careful the way you are going about this whole thing. Ghanaians are warning you because you are causing a lot of harm than good. You are causing a lot of harm than good. Alongside you and your cohorts. A word is enough for the wise. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want this video to be too lengthy. Let me hold it up here. Share your thoughts based on all you've seen here in the comments. Like this video and stay subscribed. And I will see you in my next one. Thank you for watching.